I got to share a holy shit today. It was fucking awesome. Client called me up totally out of the blue, and he said, Sven, I just need a minute of your time. I said, no, go ahead. He says, holy shit, it's fucking started. I said, what? He said, I'm slowing down, and I fucking love it. I said, say more. What, talk. And he said, I've just been busy my whole life. I've been staying fucking busy, using busyness, Sven. I said, as a what? He said, sedation. I've been using the busyness to sedate me from all the shit inside of me and all the shit in my fucking past. Sven, I couldn't even bear to be alone for a few hours on a Sunday afternoon for the last 30 fucking years of my adulthood. I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear all this shit. And finally I can slow down. Finally I can be alone, and it just feels so good. Victory. So what's your sedation? What is it? Porn? Booze? Chaos? Busyness? Cheating? What is it for you that you're using to sedate yourself from all the shit inside? Have a kick.
This isn't going to apply to everyone, but quite a few people.
I get a lot of people who actually come to me who have done psychedelics or ayahuasca retreats, shit like that. And, they had mind-blowing experiences and shit like that. But why the hell would they be coming to me? They come to me, very often it's 6 months or a year after they've done it, or maybe it's been a couple of years. They come to me because in the end, that event didn't stick. It didn't stick. They had the mind-blowing insight. They were forced to face their shit in life, but it didn't stick. And they sort of reverted back to all the old shit, even though they had that mountaintop experience. I actually see this with people who have the fucking epiphanies and shit with me, and then they stop counseling before we can implement patternization, before we can implement habitualization. It's just like working out. It's just like changing your diet. Until you've been doing it a while, it's very easy to slide back into the old habits. You got to get into the habit. So I get people who have these highs with me, and then they drop off, and it's like, Sven, I don't know what fucking happened. I said, what happened is you stopped doing the fucking tools that I taught you. You got to do the shit, man. You got to habitualize this shit. The epiphanies alone are fantastic, but they're not enough. Are you implementing it day in and day out? That's the fucking question.
One of the single biggest lies that gets burnished into the hidden belief system of a great many children and perpetuates well into the adulthood and has the effect of constricting people's lives is the belief that you need permission from something exterior to you or someone in order to be different. People will spend their entire lives trying to get permission from a person or have enough letters after their name or have enough money, or sometimes it takes a medical diagnosis. A dear friend of mine, wasn't until she was diagnosed with cancer that she gave herself permission to be her full-on freak, different ass self. We allow that belief to perpetuate among people to their misery, that you need someone's permission to be different, and that gives that other person or that thing control of your life. You waste your life pursuing it just so you can have permission to be different. And at what point do you just give your fucking self permission to be different and stop looking for external permission? And how different are you? Have a kick-ass day.
This week, Sven, my relationship with my family is going to shit because my husband never wants to do anything with my family unless he's good at it. My family's active. We horseback ride, we ski, we do everything together, but he doesn't want to engage in all unless he's good at it. Second person said to me, Sven, fucking I hate being around my wife's family. All they ever do is sit around and talk, and everybody's trying to pretend like they're the smartest person in the room. And oftentimes they're just giving opinions and saying the stupidest shit, but posting it as fact, as if they're just gotta be so fucking smart. Third person said to me, Sven, and this is an adult, said, we hate doing shit with my brother because he always has to win. We can't even play fucking volleyball. He's so intense. I gotta win. He can't just relax and enjoy the game. And if he loses, oh my God, it ruins the day for everybody. Thread running through all of them, to what degree is your ego ruining your life? To what degree is the ego of someone you love ruining your life, ruining the relationships? To what degree do you need to be the smartest person in the room? Do you need to always win? Do you always need to be good at anything that you engage in? Otherwise you won't even engage. To what degree is your ego ruining your life?
Every single thing you do in life is driven by the desire to feel something. Everything you say, everything you think, everything you do is driven by the desire to feel something. We buy a new car because we want to feel a certain way. We start doing drugs because we want to feel a certain way, or we want to stop feeling a certain way, which basically implies you want to feel something different. We try to control people, such as our children or our lover or our spouse. Why? Because when they're not doing what I want, I feel anxious, I get nervous, I get excited. I have clients who are in politics, and they bemoan all the polarization in politics. And I say, well, what is it that you do that causes you to become politically polarized? And they'll say, well, in the times that I do it, I just feel really passionate about what I'm doing. Exactly. So your feelings are driving what you're doing. And is it creating a result that actually feels good to you? The question in life is ultimately, are the actions that you're engaged in life creating the end result of feelings that you want to be feeling? And if not, do you have the courage to change them? Have a kick-ass day. I caught a video recently of an NHL goalie going through his pregame ritual in game 1 of the playoffs, and on top of it was game 2 of the playoffs, and it was showing how this goalie did the exact same moves, in the exact same sequence of stretching, of clearing out to the crease, of banging the post, and so forth, in anticipation of the game. And it was fascinating to watch, and it really well highlights the power of ritual. I had a professor when I was in seminary probably 30 years ago who said, why is it that people always come to the church for weddings and funerals? Very often people who aren't even religious anymore. And this was, of course, 30 years ago, and he said, because of the power of ritual. Ritual can have the power to prepare us, an anticipatory sort of thing where we're tuning out the world and our everyday, and we're coming into focus for that which is ahead, like the goalie. It can have a comforting or a soothing effect. The daily ritual, every day I walk my little dogs down the stairs, and we stand at the window and we look out the window, and they get to see all the squirrels and so forth. And while we're doing that, my big dog smells the same potted plant, puts his nose up there and smells the same plant. We go down, we go out the same way, let out the same door. I start the coffee, then I let them in. It's such a ritual. There's a soothing, comforting effect to ritual. Or the come down ritual, we're stepping out of that hypnotic sort of trance-like state that ritual can put us in, or ritual can bring us out of. So what are the rituals in your life? What is the function they serve? Do they soothe you? Do they help you prepare? Do they comfort you? Have a kick-ass day. You ever been in a relationship with someone where you're like sharing your like deep shit, your vulnerable shit? You're like, maybe it's your past, or maybe it's your dream that you've never really shared with anyone, or maybe it's your fears, or maybe it's some fucking pain inside where you're sharing some like really deep shit, and then they start fucking talking about getting the car fixed, or they start talking about, oh shit, I gotta put this on the grocery list, or they interrupt you and they're like, oh yeah, I had an experience like that, oh my god, and this, that. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody's like interrupting or ignoring or not understanding the gravity that you're in my sacred shit right now, dude? I'm opening like seriously, like vulnerable, sacred shit. You ever been in that? And it doesn't just happen once, but it happens repeatedly. And you're like, fuck, man, you don't get it. I'm sharing the real shit about me here. I need you to slow the fuck down. I need you to be present. I need you to get the gravitas, the gravity of what the fuck I'm saying here, man. Now, I have a responsibility to tell you this is like heavy shit for me, and I'm just sort of open up. I need you to be like safe. I need you to do that, okay? That's my responsibility. But then it's your responsibility to fucking meet that and be present and shut the fuck up and be gentle. There's this great fucking little story, and a lot of people are familiar with it, from Jewish scripture. And I'm not Jewish, I'm not really religious, but I'll steal from anybody. And it's the story of the burning bush, right? And the guy Moses is up on the side of the mountain, and he sees this burning bush, and God is in the burning bush. And God says to him, you know, then he tells him, go save my people, whatever. But the first fucking thing God says to him is, hey, Moses, take off your fucking shoes, man. This is sacred ground. Take off your shoes. In other words, tread gently. Tread cleanly. This is sacred ground. And I love that. And I talk about that in my last book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup. And I talk about the importance of sacred ground and how this thing can corrupt a relationship, can insidiously destroy, pull apart a relationship over time when your partner isn't present to you, or maybe it's when you're not present to your partner. When this person is revealing their real self, their real shit, with the one person that supposedly they can trust and more than anyone in life, and that's you. And if you can't fucking be present to that shit, you just destroy their soul. You negate the significance of their essence, of their being. So who's negating you? Who doesn't respect your sacred ground? Whose sacred ground are you not honoring? What is it about you, not just somebody else, but about you, that you're not being present to somebody else's sacred ground? And at what point do you begin to slow the fuck down? And you want to know what's at the root of it? If I can't slow down and be present to someone else's sacred ground, it's because my internal motor is running. My motor is running, and that's because I haven't healed my shit from my fucking past. So when you begin to heal your shit so that you can give that gift to another human being of being present, have a kick-ass day.